Nathan Cleverly versus Tony Bellew, the rematch at cruiserweight. Now, when this fight was announced at light heavyweight, I backed Tony Bellew. In fact, if I'm right in remembering, that was the first prediction I ever did on YouTube. So, yeah, and I predicted Tony Bellew would win the fight late and stopped Cleverly. And the fight, Cleverly won. It was a close fight, but I felt Tony Bellew tired and slowed down in the last 3 to 4 rounds, is where Cleverly was able to nick rounds. I don't think that's going to be the case second time round. Both guys have been knocked out quite badly. I think, to be honest, Cleverly's knockout defeat was worse because at least Bellew went down actually fighting. Cleverly went down cowering away to Kovalev. I told people before the Kovalev fight that Cleverly was going to go to sleep within 3 to 4 rounds. Kovalev was a heavy puncher and a heavier puncher than Stevenson, simply because it's a two-fisted attack, whereas I believe Stevenson's more of a one-handed fighter with the left hand, which is his power shot. So how do I see this fight going? I think Bellew hits harder at cruiserweight. He's got one-punch knockout power at cruiserweight, and I do genuinely believe that Tony Bellew drained himself to fight a light heavyweight, whereas Nathan Cleverly, I don't believe, is a natural cruiserweight. I think he's bulked himself up to cruiserweight, and I'm not so sure how much that. He wasn't a big punch at light heavyweight. Okay, you could say the same for Bellew, really, but I think at cruiserweight, Bellew it fills out more. I think it's going to suit him more. Bellew is still vulnerable in terms of his ability to keep getting. He keeps getting hit with punches in fights, so he's not got the greatest defense. But I don't think if Bellew comes out and tries to nail Cleverly early, I think it could be a fight that goes halfway. I'm actually looking for Bellew to stop Cleverly inside 6 because mentally I don't think Cleverly has recovered from the Kovalev fight, and I think as soon as Cleverly lands hard on Nathan Cleverly, I think the memories of Kovalev are going to come back. Whereas you see with Bellew now, I think Bellew is mentally stronger, because if you remember, the guy that Bellew fought in his rematch actually came out and dropped him. Now, between the two guys, also Bellew has fought the harder competition. I don't know why that is, but he's definitely fought the harder competition. So at cruiserweight, the punch power has been proven more with Bellew. So for me, I'm going Bellew by KO. I'm just not impressed with Nathan Cleverly's comeback trail. And like I said, I don't think mentally he's as strong as Tony Bellew. You just have to look at the fight where Bellew got dropped since his comeback, and he came back and he fought for a tough fight. We haven't seen what Nathan Cleverly's like in a tough fight. We're going to find out when he fights Tony Bellew. Who's the better boxer? Well, like I said before, Bellew tired late on, but I thought Bellew could have won the fight. I did think that Cleverly won the fight unanimously, so you can't say that Bellew is a worse boxer than Cleverly. I think the engine was because he was weight drained, so you'd think now, moving up a weight, that Bellew would be the better boxer or the more around fighter, but we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. I have to say this about Tony Bellew, that he does make a very good point, because everyone remembers him turning around calling Cleverly an effing rat, but we never remember the fact that it was Cleverly that turned around to Bellew and said he'd take him around a car park. I find it quite funny, and I have to say, it's no disrespect to Tony Bellew, but the most exciting thing about Tony Bellew at light heavyweight was his press conferences and the build up to his fights. And that fight with Cleverly, the thing I remembered most was the press conference. I'm just being honest. As a cruiserweight, Bellew looks a lot more exciting. So as I said, I'm going with Bellew, and I kept asking the question. I asked the question on Twitter, I remember saying, why do they call this guy the bomber? Because he don't bomb anybody out. And as I said that, he knocked that guy Sparko in his last fight. So I can see Cleverly going over the same way, to be honest. So I think Cleverly's a good fighter, but I think he's been found out personally. Let me know what you think. I'm out.